Good
This
evening, everyone.
conference will now be recorded.
Okay, only three or join Anaga, Asha, Maunya. Okay, ma. Good evening, everyone. In the last class, we discussed the basic introduction to the lipids and the classification of lipids. In that, we completed the simplest classification of lipids. That is the simple lipids. Okay, today we are going to discuss the other classification, that means the other types of the classifications and that are present in lipids. Okay, we discussed all these. Actually, the lipids are classified into mainly simple lipids, complex lipids, and precursor and derived lipids. Okay, in that we discussed about the simple lipids, and that are the fats and fats, that are the esters of fatty acids with various alcohols. And the main alcohol that is present in lipids is glycerol. Glycerol is the main alcohol that is present in fats. Okay, and here these exist in fats, oils, and waxes. Okay, and also we discussed about the fatty acids, about their nomenclature, how these are classified into different types depending upon the bonding and depending upon the numbering of carbons. Okay, and also depending upon the diet's sufficiency. Here these are classified into essential and non-essential fatty acids. And triacylglycerols. These are the normal, that means these are the basic form of the structure of fatty acid. That are the triacylglycerols, and that contains the acyl groups. Three acyl groups are attached. That means in the glycerol, in place of hydrogen position here, these acyl groups are added, that forming the triacylglycerol. Okay, and next, and also we discussed in the complex lipids, mainly phospholipids. And what are phospholipids? Here, in addition to fatty acids, these phospholipids, these containing the alcohol and phosphoric acid residue. In the alcohol, if glycerol is present, that are called as the glycerophospholipids. Whereas if sphingosine is present, and that is called as the sphingophospholipid. And also it is classified into glycolipids and other complex lipids. And in these phospholipids, mainly that containing the phosphoric acid residues, and that contain different functional groups. And based on that, here these glycerophospholipids are of mainly phosphatidic acid, lecithin, cephalin, phosphatidylinositol, phosphatidylserine, plasmalogens, and cardiolipins. And these are the types of the glycerophospholipids because they contain alcohol as the glycerol and containing phosphoric acid residue. Hence, these are called as the glycerophospholipids. Okay, and here in this, the main basic form in this is phosphatidic acid. Phosphatidic acid. In the phosphatidic acid, here the different functional groups are attached, and that forming the lecithin, cephalin, phosphatidylinositol, phosphatidylserine, plasmalogens, and cardiolipin. Just a minute, ma'am.
Just a minute, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, here these are the different types of the glycerophospholipids. In this phosphatidylcholine contains the choline as the functional group, and that are called as the phosphatidylcholines. And here this is a major component of lecithin. Okay, and we discussed this, and also inositol and phosphatidylinositol, and that is also a component. And here this is acting as a secondary messenger. Okay, and here, and this is the precursor of secondary messenger, and this is the constituent of different cell membrane proteins. Okay, and upon stimulation by a hormone, it can be cleaved into diacylglycerol and inositol triphosphate. Here it is acting as a secondary messenger when it is converted into the diacylglycerol and inositol triphosphate. Okay, and here mainly these are the main components that are present in the glycerophospholipids. And what are the structures means here? This is the basic structure of phosphatidic acid. This is the basic structure of phosphatidic acid, and when it is containing this choline, when it is attached with the choline group, and that is called as the phosphatidylcholine. And when serine is present, and that is called as the phosphatidylserine. And whereas ethanol amine is attached means, and that is called as the cephaline. Okay, and here, and also if myoinositol structure is attached to phosphatidic acid, and that forms the phosphatidyl inositols, and these are the different structures. Okay ma, here this is the simplest one ma, that is the phosphatidic acid. And here when the phosphatidic acid is attached with these four types of functional groups, and that form the different types of the glycerophospholipids. Okay, and here when choline is present, that is called lecithin. When ethanol amine is present, that is called cephalin. When myoinositol is present, that is called as phosphatidylinositol. And when serine is present, that is called as the phosphatidylserine. Whereas here in the acyl residue, in place of esters, here ether group is attached, and then that is called as the plasmalogens. Plasmalogens. When ester group is replaced by ether group, then it is called as the plasmalogens. Okay, and up to this is the phospholipids, glycerophospholipids. And that means here that containing the glycerol as the alcohol. Glycerol as the alcohol. Whereas if sphingosine as the alcohol, and then that type of phospholipids are called as the sphingospholipids. When sphingosine as the alcohol, and that type of phospholipids are called as the sphingospholipids. Okay, and here what are the main functions of phospholipids here? First of all, we have to discuss the main functions of phospholipids, because these are the main membrane components, and that means these are playing a role in structural functions and in regulatory functions. Okay, and also these are the present in membranes means, here the other cellular organelles that containing membranes of the mitochondria, and that, and also chloroplast. And that means here mainly in plants means chloroplast. Here we are discussing mainly about the living organisms, that are the animals, and that containing the phospholipids in mitochondria, that are of lecithin, cephalin and cardiolipin. And that means here in mitochondria these are present means, that maintains the electron transport chain. Electron transport chain. And also, okay, and also these are helpful in the fat absorption and participating in the transport of lipids. And here these are the main precursors of eicosanoids, and also functioning as the blood clotting factor, mainly cephalin acting as a blood clotting factor. Asha, okay, major lipid of mitochondrial membrane. Here mainly lecithin ma. Lecithin, it is a major component of mitochondrial membrane. Okay. And next coming to the sphingospholipids. Here in sphingospholipids, here along with fatty acid, phosphoric acid residues, here it containing sphingosine as the alcohol. And that means here glycerol is absent, and in place of glycerol, here sphingosine is the alcohol that is present. Okay, and that forming mainly the structure called as the ceramide. Here the combination of sphingosine plus fatty acid, and that is forming as the structure called as the ceramide. And what is the function? What is the structure of fatty acid that contains triacyl glycerol? Here, in the glycerol, in place of glycerol, here sphingosine is present. That means fatty acid with sphingosine that is forming the structure called as a ceramide. And then it is attaching with the phosphoric acid residues. And that is forming the sphingofospholipids. Sphingofospholipids. Here this is the structure mark. Here this is the sphingosine, and here fatty acid is attached with the sphingosine that is forming the ceramide. Okay, and that is attaching with the phosphoric acid residue, and that containing the functional group choline, and that forming the sphingofospholipids. And these sphingofospholipids, these are present in mainly myelinated members. That means here these are mainly responsible in nerve transmission. Okay, and that are called as the sphingofospholipids. Understood, ma? Here mainly these are the major phospholipids. Normal phospholipids, that are the glycerol phospholipids, glycerophospholipids. And here these sphingofospholipids, these are mainly responsible in the functioning of nerve impulses. Okay, and next, another classified form of complex lipids is glycolipids. What is meant by glyco? What is meant by glycoma? Glyco means glyco means yeah, good. Carbohydrates. Here, the lipids that are combining with the carbohydrates. These are the main constituents of cell membrane, and also these are present in nervous system. That is mainly in brain. These are present. Okay, and in this, that means here, these are mainly forming the membrane surface. That means these are participating along with the carbohydrate portion, and that means here these are containing glycerol, or it may be contain sphingosine as the alcohol. And here mainly the sphingosine is the alcohol that is mainly present in brain. That means here that is participating in nervous impulses. Hence these are called as glycosphingolipids. Glycosphingolipids. And in these glycosphingolipids, mainly cerebrosides, and that are the simplest form of glycolipids. Cerebrosides are the main simplest form of glycolipids. And also here, these are attaching with the sugars means, and the sugars may be galactose and glucose. That means these are forming the glucose. That means these are attaching with the galactose units and also attaching with the glucose units, and that are forming the galactoside ceramide and also forming the gangliosides. And these gangliosides, these are mainly found in ganglions, and these are the complex form of the glycosphingolipids. Gangliosides are the complex form of glycolipids, whereas the simplest form of glycolipids are cerebrosides that are attaching with the glucose units. Understood, ma? Gangliosides are the complex, whereas the cerebrosides are the simplest form of glycolipids. Okay, and here the main fatty acid that is present in glycolipids is cerebronic acid. The main fatty acid, and that is mainly present here is cerebronic acid. And also here in the carbohydrates, different components are coming. That means in the polysaccharides, different components are present in hyaluronic acid, whereas in heparin, and that contains the N-acetyl-uramic acid, and also contain the sulfur components. And here these all are the lipid components. These are the lipid components, and that means these are containing the cerebroside units. Okay, and the main gangliosides that are present in our brain, and that may be of GM1. That means here these are gangliosides. That means these are classified into GM1, GM2, and like that. That means monodi. That means depending upon the number of units here, the carbohydrates attached, the number of carbohydrate units that are attached to the lipid molecules, these can be classified into GM1, GM2, GM3 like that. Okay, here you have to remember, first of all, the simplest form of glycolipids is cerebrosides that are of glucocerebrosides, whereas the complex forms are the gangliosides. And here in the glycolipids, the main alcohol that is present is sphingosine, and that is of glycosphingolipids, and that contains the galactoside, ceramide, and gangliosides. Okay, and that are called as the glycolipids. And next, coming to the lipoproteins. And what are these lipoproteins? These are the complexes of lipid with protein. First of all, we studied about simplest form. That means that are the pure form of the lipids. And next, that are combining with the different types of residues that are called as the complex lipids. That means they containing phosphoric acid residue and they containing carbohydrate. And next, third one, and that is containing the lipoproteins. That means these are complexing with the protein molecules, and that are acting as a transport vehicles for the lipids, that are acting as transport vehicles for lipids. And these are mainly classified into chylomicrons, very low density proteins, high density proteins, low density lipoproteins, and free fatty acid complexes. Actually, in the transfer of here albumin, for the albumin transport, and these free fatty acid complexes are necessary. And like that here, these lipoproteins have a many functional roles in the transport of different proteins. And here, these proteins are also responsible for the transport vehicles of lipids also. Okay, and that is the main function of lipoproteins and that classification. Okay, in the metabolism portion, we will discuss clearly, we can discuss more about the what are the low density, very low density, and which concentration should be more A and which concentration should be less, and that we will discuss in the metabolism concept. Okay, and that are called as the lipoproteins. And next, coming to the after this complex lipids, and these can be classified into precursor and derived lipids. And what are the precursor and derived lipids means? These are containing different functional groups. That means here these containing fatty acids, glycerols, and fatty aldehydes, ketone bodies, hydrocarbons, lipid soluble vitamins, hormones, steroids, and these are the different functional groups are present, and that are called as the derived lipids. That means these are the derivatives. Derivatives means higher. That means they containing different forms. Okay, that are called as the precursor and derived lipids. And also in that here, in the lipids, the main components that are present are steroids. And what are steroids? Steroid, we study, we know cholesterol is there, ergosterol. In animals, cholesterol is present, whereas in plants, ergosterol is present. And what are these components? What are these structures that are present in this? Okay, and that are called as the steroids. Here, these are the components containing the cyclic steroid nucleus. And this is the structure of steroid here. This is the structure of steroid, and here that containing the phenol 3 nucleus, and that is A, B, C, and also containing cyclopentane ring, and also contains cyclopentane ring. Okay, and here several steroids are present in biological system, and that are of cholesterol, bile acids, vitamin D, sex hormones, adrenocortical hormones, cardiac glycosides, alkaloids, and these are the different types of steroids. And for this, that means here these are mainly playing a role in, they have many functions in animals. Okay, and that are called as the steroids. And here mainly that containing steroid nucleus, and that are of mainly cholesterol, ergosterol that are present in animals and plants. Okay, And here in animals, the main form is the cholesterol, and this is the best known steroid, and it is mainly associated with the disease called as atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis, and that means here this is a precursor of large number of steroids. That means it is participating a vital role in biological function, and that means it is synthesizing different ones, and that means it is mainly important for the functioning of bile acid and for the functioning of adrenocortical hormones, sex hormones, and calcitriols. Okay, and that means D vitamins, and also participating in cardiac role, cardiac glycerides. Okay, and that are called as the cholesterol. And here this cholesterol, it is a poor conductor of heat and electricity. Poor conductor of heat and electricity, and it is mainly abundant, that is present in nervous tissue. Okay, it is mainly present in nervous tissue, and also it is acting as an insulating cover for the transmission of electrical impulses in nervous tissue. That means it is acting as a protective layer along the nervous membrane. That means that is called as an insulating layer. Insulating layer. Okay, and here it is mainly participating a main role in membrane structure and membrane function also. That is called as the cholesterol. And what are the properties of cholesterol? How it is existing? That means here it is normally existing as yellowish crystalline solid, and it is insoluble in water, whereas it is soluble in organic solvent. Here T mist. Okay, here it is insoluble in water and soluble in organic solvent. And whereas the function that is present in nervous tissue acting as the insulating cover, and whereas the biochemical function is, it is the precursor for many biochemical substances and component of cell membrane. Okay, and here mainly coming to the structure, here we can observe the structure of cholesterol. Here hydroxyl group is present, and here, and this hydroxyl group, due to the presence of this hydroxyl group, here this cholesterol, it is amphiphilic in nature. It is amphiphilic in nature, and due to this hydroxyl group, here it is an important determinant of membrane permeability processes. It is mainly playing a role in membrane permeability. And here, and some organelles, they contain high amounts of cholesterol. High amounts of cholesterol is mainly present on which membrane? Nervous membrane. Some organelles contain low amount, some organelles contain high amount of cholesterol. Okay. Actually, cholesterol means anyone, you can say cholesterol. What is meant by cholesterol? Here, this is a steroid. Sterol means steroid. What is meant by chol? What is meant by chol, ma? We are saying cholesterol. Which component is chol? Okay. Actually, this is the solid alcohol from bile components. Coal. We can discuss in this metabolism. Here in bile, how can it is eliminated? The bile forms that are called as coal forms. Okay, and here coal is the bile form, solid alcohol from bile. Yeah, cholic acid. Okay, and that is called as a cholesterol because it is the major constituent for the synthesis of different steroids, mainly bile steroids. Hence, it is called as the cholesterol. Okay, and here these bile acids, and what are the bile acids? And here these are synthesized from the cholesterol in the liver, and that means here it is keeping the bile cholesterol in a soluble state as micelles and promote the digestion of lipids in the intestine. Here for the digestion, here this cholesterol is mainly required, and that is in the form of bile acid. Here the digestion process occurs, and the primary bile acids are called as the cholic acid and deoxycholic acid, whereas the secondary bile acid that are called as the lithocholic acid and deoxycholic acid. In the metabolism pathways, here we can discuss all these and what are the functions of these, and what are the that means the pathogenesis, and that is occurring after the missing of these ones. Okay, we can discuss in metabolism pathways. Okay, and here these are the structures of cholic acid, and this is the cholic acid, and this is the lithocholic acid, deoxycholic acid, and deoxycholic acid. And small differences are present. Small, very, very small differences are present in these structures. We can observe. Okay, and that are the structures of bile acids. Okay, and here we said here it is here bile cholesterol exists in soluble state as micelles. And what are micelles here? What are micelles? Actually, the lipids are insoluble in water. Lipids are insoluble in water. That means here when these are present in water means, and that causes a different phases, and that forming the mycelial structure, mycel-like structure. And here these due to the presence of non-polar groups or the hydrocarbon groups, it is existing in mycel state, mycel state. And here already I said cholesterol exists in amphiphilic state. Amphiphilic means that containing, amphi means that exhibiting the both the properties. That means here it is existing in water, and without existing in water also it can survive. And that means here, and that showing different groups. That means if it is to be present in water means, and that shows the polar groups, and also showing the non-polar groups. And where these are situated, where these polar groups and non-polar groups are present, and depending upon that, here the structure of cholesterol is present. That means here the cholesterol contain polar groups and non-polar groups, and that's showing the nature of amphipathic nature. And here the polar groups that are exposed to outside, polar groups are exposed to outside, whereas the non-polar groups are present inside the membrane. These are present inside the membrane. That means here the head portion, and that containing the hydrophilic groups, whereas the tail portion that containing the hydrocarbon chain that is present in inside. And like lipid bilayer membrane, here these are existing in mycel-like structures. Okay, and that is called as the micelle. Okay, here these are present, that means they become oriented at oil. That means here the water interfaces with the polar groups in the water phase, whereas non-polar group are interfacing in oil phase. Okay, and this is the basic structure in biological membrane. Okay, and here these lipids, when these are present in aqueous form, is that is forming the micelle form. Micelle form. And these micelles, these are also forming the structures called as the liposomes. And what are liposomes, ma? Anyone? What are liposomes? Yeah, carrying drugs. Yeah, lipid vesicles. Okay, here lipid vesicles that are mainly acting as a carriers, and that are called as a liposome. That means these are the spherical structures, spherical like structures. Okay, and that are mainly necessary for the transporting, and it is mainly essential for the drug delivery, mainly used for the emulsion ointments, cancer therapy, and these liposomes are used. And that means these are mainly useful for the direct gene delivery systems. Direct gene transport or gene delivery system, these liposomes are used. Okay. And next, coming to the here, we discussed about the different classifications. Okay, and here in the classification we discussed simple ones, complex ones, and derived. These are the different types of lipids. Here, these has the some properties, and that means here the main occurring nature of lipids are in the form of triacyl glycerol, containing the acyl groups. Triacyl groups are present. Okay, here the fats and oils, these are normally occurring in nature, and based on this, here we have to check the purity for the fats and oils. What is the composition of this fat? What is the composition of oil? And what are the okay, and here what are the properties that are present? Here we have to check for all these, and depending upon the properties, here some tests are available for checking the purity of fats and oils, and that are called as the biochemical test for purity of fats and oils, and that process is also called as adulteration. That process is also called as the adulteration for checking of the purity of fats and oils. Okay, mainly four tests are used for the checking of the purity of fats and oils. That is iodine number, saponification number, Raychard micelle number, acid number. These are the four tests, and that are mainly used for the checking of the purity. For example, we are using different oils, vegetable oils, sunflower oils, palm oil, and coconut oil, and these are the different types of oils, and which one is the beneficial, which one is the not beneficial to our health, and these can be determined by using a different test, and that are called as the biochemical test for checking the purity and for the checking of adulteration. Okay, and here before this, here these fatty acids that are existing in triacyl glycerol means that should contain that contain different properties. For example, they can undergo hydrolysis process, and they can lyse, they can catalyzed by different enzymes, mainly triacyl glycerols. That means here these are called as the lipids, and these can be catalyzed by the enzymes called as the lipases, and that process is called as the hydrolysis process. For example, if we are taking the food means, and that can be digested in our that should be digested in our gastrointestinal tract, and that means different enzymes are responsible for that. Here mainly lipases are mainly responsible for the digestion of fat in the gastrointestinal tract and causes the fat mobilization from the adipose tissues. Adipose tissue is the main organ that is responsible for the storage of lipids. Okay, here that means here these showing different properties, hydrolysis and also saponification process. What is meant by saponification? And that means here the hydrolysis of triacyl glycerols by some components, mainly alkali components, and that producing glycerol and soaps, and that process is called as a saponification. Here, different processes are responsible for determining the purity. In that, we are determining by using different properties. Hydrolysis is the one property, and next we are using the saponification process. And next, another process is used that is called as the rancidity. And what is meant by rancidity means here, and that is mainly used to represent the deterioration of fats and oils, deterioration of fats and oils, and that are resulting in unpleasant taste or unpleasant odor, and by this way we can determine the purity, and these are the different processes. And in these processes, by using these processes, here we are saying biochemical tests like iodine number, saponification number, Rietveld missile number, and acid number. Okay, and that are the tests. And in this, here we have to analyze and we have to identify the particular type of fat is present, particular type of oil is present means first of all we are checking the purity. How can we check? And that means here we are using some number or test. And what are these numbers means here mainly these are used for checking the purity of fat for detection of adulteration. And also these are mainly used to estimate the certain properties of fat. I said what are the properties? Hydrolysis, rancidity and saponification. And that are the properties. And also by using these we can identify the biological values and natural characteristic of fat. Natural characteristic of fat. And that means here some values are present for these fats and oils. And by using this, we can check the purity. And also, we can detect the fat rancidity and presence of toxic hydroxy fatty acids that are present in the fats and oils. Okay, and these are the biochemical tests. In that, mainly the first one is the iodine number. And what is iodine number? Here we are using iodine number, and that is defined as the grams of iodine, and that is absorbed by 100 grams of fat or oil. Here it is defined as the grams of iodine, and that is absorbed by 100 grams of fat or oil. And that means it is mainly used for the determination of relative unsaturation of fats. Unsaturation of fats. Unsaturation means and that containing the double bonds or triple bonds. And here, depending upon the unsaturation, here we are determining the purity of that particular type of fat or oil. And that means here it is that iodine number is mainly used for the analyzing of degree of adulteration. And here the lower is the iodine number, then the less is the degree of unsaturation number. Here how we are calculating the iodine number. Here the grams of iodine that is absorbed by 100 gram of fat or oil. And that means here we can determine the number, iodine number, how many grams are required for absorption. And basing on the number here, we are determining the unsaturation. And here, and that is directly proportional to the unsaturation. If iodine number is less and the unsaturation is also less. And if the iodine number is more and then unsaturation is more. Okay, and that is called as the iodine number. And here these are the different values for different types of oils. Here the coconut oil that contains the iodine number of 7 to 10, whereas the butter contains the 25 to 28, whereas the palm oil contains 45 to 55. Okay, and here olive oil, and these are the ranges of different oils, the ranges of iodine number. Okay, and here this iodine number of butter, and that is adulterated with the groundnut oil. That means here if it is greater than 28, and that means here depending upon the weight contribution here we can say, and that is coconut oil or the groundnut oil. Okay, and that is called as the iodine number. And basing on this, and which oil is beneficiary, ma? Okay, Anaga. Which oil is beneficiary, ma? Basing on these values. Coconut oil, Maunya, or linseed oil. Which one is beneficiary? Okay, I will tell in the last. Okay, after the completion of all the numbers. And next coming to the, okay, this is the iodine. That means here iodine is getting attached to the, and that means it is mainly useful for detecting the unsaturation, means that containing the double or triple bonds. And that means it is getting attached to the double or triple bonds present in oil or fat molecule. And for example, this is the saturated one, and this is the monounsaturated one, and this is the polyunsaturated one. And that means here, depending upon the number of bonds, here these are the double bonded ones. Here, depending upon the number of double bonded or triple bonded ones, here the absorption of iodine is also greater. Okay, and here this iodine is placed at the double bonded position. Okay, and the next value, and that used for the determination of purity, is saponification number. And what is meant by saponification? Saponification means hydrolysis of triacyl glycerol by alkali. That means here alkali means yeah, basic ones. That means these are existing in hydroxylated forms: potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, and that are called as the alkalis. Here the hydrolysis of triacyl glycerols by alkali here, that is used for the conversion into the soaps by releasing the alcohol as the glycerol, and that process is called as the saponification. And that means here we are using the alkali. That means here the mg of alkali, mg of KOH or NaOH or the alkali, and that is required to produce soaps, or that is required to hydrolyze 1 gram of fat or oil, and that is called as the saponification number. Saponification number. Understood ma here? Here we are saying in terms of properties. First is the iodine requirement. Second one is the hydrolysis. Hydrolysis by alkali. Here we are using the alkalis for hydrolyzing process. And for the hydrolysis of 1 gram of fat or oil. And what are the numbers that we get? And that is giving the measure of saponification number. And here, and that saponification number, it is a measure of average molecular size of constituent fatty acids that are present in a given fat or oil. Here, saponification number, it is giving the measure of average molecular size. That means here, the value is higher for fats containing short chain fatty acid. If the chain of fatty acid is short, means the value is higher. Okay, and if the long chain fatty acid is present, then the value is lower. The value is lower. And here the highest saponification number containing oils are mainly butter. Butter containing 230 to 240, and coconut oil containing saponification number of 250 to 260, whereas the human fat containing the saponification number of 195 to 200. And that means here these are the short chain fatty acid ones, and they contain higher saponification number. Okay, and that is called as the saponification number. And here this is indicating the number of fatty acid chain length of triglycerides. And here different samples are used for the experiment with the saponification number. Mainly the samples are used are corn oil and palm oil. And here the product of the hydrolysis, then these are treated with the HCl to determine the saponification number. Here, the corn oil is more higher in saponification number when compared to palm oil. And that means the corn oil contains the short chain fatty acids, whereas the palm oil contains the higher chain of fatty acids. And the amount of KOH that is needed to break down these hydrolysis is also higher. Okay, here the glyceroids, triglycerides contains the long chain of fatty acids. Okay, and here and that is mainly used for the measurement of palm oil and corn oil, and that is indicating the palm oil has higher content of long chain fatty acids than corn oil, and that means here corn oil is more digestible than palm oil. Corn oil is more digestible than palm oil. That means here the higher content of long chain fatty acids are present means, and that is more digestible than the short chain fatty acids. Understood, ma'am? Okay, that is saponification member. And next, the third value, and that is mainly used for the determination of purity, is Richard missile number. And what is meant by Richard missile number of fats or oils means here, this is the number of ml of 0.1 NKOH, and that is required to neutralize the soluble volatile fatty acids, and that are mainly distilled from 5 grams of fat or oil. Observe this mark here, we are saying different terms here. And what are the terms here means, here we are defining as the number of ml of 0.1 NKOH. Okay, and that is mainly required to completely neutralize the volatile fatty acids, and that is distilled from 5 grams of fat. Here, the volatile fatty acids are mainly of butyric acid, caproic acid, caprylic acid. These are the main volatile fatty acids. Okay, and that means here that containing the characteristic of volatile nature, and that means here the butter mainly contains the volatile fatty acid, and that means here for the determination of butter, here this Richard missile number is mainly used. Okay, and this is the adulteration of butter is mainly detected by using the Richard missile number, and that means it is mainly useful for the testing of purity or adulteration of butter. Okay, and here for the butter this value is 25 to 30, and Richard missile number for butter is 25 to 30. And whereas the fat or edible oil is without volatile fatty acid that containing less than 1 values. Okay, less than 1 values are present. That means here the volatile fatty acid containing oils contain high number of Richard missile number. Okay, and that is called as the Richard missile number. And next coming to the acid number. And what is acid number? Here we discussed about the normal fatty acid and next volatile fatty acid. Okay, whereas the free fatty acids, and that has to be neutralized. And that means here that acid number of fat or oils, and that is mainly defined as the mg of KOH, and that is required to completely neutralize free fatty acids present in 1 gram of fat or oil. Okay, it is mainly explains the phenomenon of rancidity. It is mainly explaining the phenomenon of rancidity. Rancidity means, and that is mainly representing the deterioration of fats and oils that are resulting in unpleasant taste, unpleasant odor, and that means here the unsaturated fatty acids are more susceptible to rancidity. Okay, whereas the saturated means saturating bonds are present and that are not deteriorated by any components, whereas the unsaturated ones on that or that can be decomposed. by chemical composition or by bacterial composition or by any fungal one. Here, and by using these values, we can determine the rancidity of fats and oils. And that means here, acid number is mainly used for the manufacturing and packing date for fats and oils. Okay, and here acid number, it should be high for long term storage of oils. Acid number should be high for long term storage of oils, and the refined oils, that should be free from any free fatty acids and have negligible acid number, and that means the acid number is less for the refined oils. Okay. Okay, ma. Here, understood, ma. Here, sunflower oil. If we take the sunflower oil, means that is a refined sunflower oil we use. And refined sunflower oil means that is the refined one. That means here, any bacterial contamination or any deuteriation process, that is not involving in that one. And that means that contains acid number less than 1. Okay, oils, due to the decomposing nature of oils, here we are determining the acid number for the purity of fat and oil. 0.1 NKOH. That means here normal KOH, some molarity is there, ma, and some normality is there. And in terms of, we have to convert into the 0.1 NKOH. And how much amount? That means some formulas is there now for molarity calculation, for normality calculation, and based on that we can determine, ma. Okay, do you know the formulas of molarity and normality? Yeah. Okay. Here, based on that, here, okay, okay, ma. Here, KOH, that is normally taken, we are taking the normal KOH, ma. Here, and that is 1 NKOH is there, 0.1 NKOH, 0.2 NKOH, and based on calculation, we have to determine all these. Okay, and that is the biochemical test for purity of fats and oils. These are the 4 tests, and that are mainly used for the checking of purity of fats and oils. And here coconut oil is there, refined oils are there, palm oil is there. Which oil is better for consumption, ma? By using this, you can say which oil is better for consumption? Refined oils. Yeah, good, ma. Okay, because these are not exposed to deuteriation process. Okay, butter, when we take butter means that contains the volatile fatty acid. That value is higher. And when we go for the coconut oil, and that contains the 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 iodine number value for that is greater, and depending upon that we have to use different oils. Okay, and these are the different tests, and that are mainly used for the determination of purity of fats and oils. Okay, after this we completed the lipids topic, ma, and in the metabolism portion we will discuss all these ones, and what are the proteins involved in the transport process, that are the chylomicrons, lipoproteins, cholesterol, and different functions, and that means synthesis of cholesterol is there, degradation of cholesterol is there, how the digestion process, that is eliminating the different products, and that we will discuss in the metabolism process. Okay, and this is the another biomolecule, and that we have discussed. In the first one, protein we discussed, next carbohydrates, next lipids we discussed. Okay, these are the major components of the biological system. Okay, any doubts? Any doubts, ma? Yeah. Okay, is it clear for all of you? Asha, Manasa, Manasa. Okay, ma.
Ma'am. So it was really very informative session. So students, if you understood today's stuffs, please comment yes in the comment box. Let us know.
Okay.
Yeah, Mansa, I know. We'll provide you today's recordings too, along with your PPT. No need to worry about it. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your response. Okay. We'll meet tomorrow. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.